Do you ever wonder why it takes so long just to start playing a game you've already downloaded? You tap the icon and instead of jumping right in, you're stuck waiting for extra files to download or animations to finish. Well, Samsung is working on that, and One UI 8.0 it finally fixed the problem. With a new update to its Game Booster app, Samsung is adding to smart features that help you skip the wait and get straight to the fun. These aren't just small tweaks. They focus directly on cutting down the time between launching a game and actually playing it. First up is a new option that pre-downloads game updates. If you've ever opened a game for the first time and had to download an extra 2 gigabytes before getting to the main screen, you know how annoying that is. Samsung's solution: let your phone download those extra files in the background, but only when it's connected to Wi-Fi, charging, and not in use. So the next time you want to play, everything is already there and you're not stuck waiting. This feature was spotted in Game Booster version 7.0.51.13 and shows up in the settings as pre-download game updates. It works with supported games and takes advantage of idle time when your phone isn't busy, which is a smart way to save you time without draining your battery or using mobile data. The second feature focuses on something most people don't think about: game startup animations. Usually when you open a game, you see a splash screen or animation that plays out while the game loads in the background. But sometimes the animation finishes before the game is ready, or the game loads but you're still staring at a logo. Samsung now wants to fix that by syncing the animation with the actual load time. The Game Booster app looks at your phone's performance and predicts how long the game will take to load. Then it adjusts the animation so it finishes right when the game is ready. It sounds like a small detail, but it makes a big difference in how fast and smooth the whole experience feels. If the developer doesn't want this feature to be applied to their game, Samsung can disable it using the game's package name, so it's flexible and won't interfere with how the game is meant to work. Both of these features are designed to cut down the frustrating wait times that can ruin a gaming session before it even begins. They're part of Samsung's bigger goal of making Galaxy phones and tablets better for gaming, not just by adding power or graphics improvements, but by improving the small things that affect how games feel to play. And the best part is, these changes work quietly in the background. You don't have to think about them, tweak settings, or press extra buttons. Just charge your phone overnight, and Game Booster does the rest. These updates aren't live for everyone yet, but they're expected to roll out in future beta builds or the final version of One UI 8.0. If you play games regularly on your Galaxy device, these changes could be a real time saver, especially for those quick gaming breaks when you don't want to waste even a minute. So if you're tired of waiting through load screens and unexpected downloads, One UI 8.0 might be the update that finally gets it right. Tap the like button if you found this helpful, and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on all things Samsung and mobile gaming.
Why isn't Apple calling the next iPhone the iPhone 26? It might sound strange, but that question actually makes a lot of sense right now, because Apple is changing the names of its operating systems, and many people thought the iPhone would follow the same idea. So, here's what's really going on. Apple is planning to rebrand iOS, macOS, iPadOS, and visionOS starting this year. At the upcoming Worldwide Developers Conference 2025 event in June, the company is expected to announce that all its operating systems will now match the number of the coming year. That means the next iOS update won't be called iOS 18. It'll likely be named iOS 26 since it's being released for the year 2026. It's kind of like how car companies name their models. For example, a car launched in 2025 often gets a 2026 badge. So naturally, people started asking, will Apple also change the name of the iPhone 17 to match this new system? Something like iPhone 26 instead? The answer is no. According to Mark Gurman, a well-known Apple insider, Apple has no plans to rename the iPhone 17. And he explains why. iPhones are a lot more personal to people than software updates. Users tend to remember iPhone names more than they do iOS numbers. If Apple suddenly went from iPhone 17 to iPhone 26, it might confuse customers or make older iPhones feel too old, even if they still work perfectly fine. That kind of shift could backfire. People may skip buying older models just because the name sounds old, even if the phone still has great features. Also, Apple likes to keep iPhone names simple and stable. Unlike Samsung, which jumped from the Galaxy S10 to the Galaxy S20 to match the year 2020, Apple wants to avoid tying its phones to a year. That gives them more freedom, and the phones don't feel outdated as quickly. But that doesn't mean the iPhone 17 will stay the same. Even though the name isn't changing, Apple is still upgrading the phone. Reports say that all iPhone 17 models, except maybe the base version, will come with 12 GB of RAM as standard. That's a nice bump from the current models and should help with multitasking and speed. There will also be some design changes, although exact details haven't been confirmed yet. Apple might be taking some ideas from Vision OS, the software made for the Apple Vision Pro headset. The goal is to make all Apple platforms feel more connected, whether you're using a Mac, an iPad, an iPhone, or a Vision Pro. So even if the phone's name stays the same, the overall Apple experience is going to look and feel more unified. Now, there's another reason Apple might be pushing this operating system rebrand. Some people believe it's a way to shift the spotlight. With companies like Google and Samsung making fast progress in artificial intelligence, Apple might be using this rebrand to make their software updates sound more futuristic, without needing to talk too much about AI just yet. Either way, it's clear that Apple is thinking long-term. They want their system updates to sound fresh and modern, while keeping the iPhone naming style steady and easy to follow. So what do you think? Should Apple have renamed the iPhone 17 to match the new iOS name, or is keeping it simple the right call? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you found this update helpful, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss future Apple news. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Samsung might be changing things up again, and if you're someone who cares about smartphone performance, this is something you'll want to pay attention to. A new report out of South Korea hints that the upcoming Galaxy S26 series could bring back a decision that users weren't exactly thrilled about in the past, using different processors depending on where you live. Right now, the Galaxy S25 series is praised for one key reason. Every model, in every region, runs on the same powerful Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy processor. That kind of consistency made things simple. No matter where you bought your phone, you knew it had top-tier performance. But that might change with the S26 lineup. The new report suggests that Samsung could go back to splitting its chip strategy, meaning some phones will run on Snapdragon and others on Samsung's own Exynos chip. The Galaxy S26 Ultra will likely continue using Snapdragon across all regions, but the regular Galaxy S26 and S26